$800 or $1,000. All right. Thank you. Bang. Beautiful trade there, guys. Beautiful trade. Let's go. I want you to sit down and realize the power that you're actually about to obtain by watching this video right now. I know there's a lot of stuff out there that's confusing. There's a lot of different concepts brought into the equation. You're overcomplicating. There's way too many videos out there. There's way too many gurus out there nowadays telling you all these different things. But the fact of the matter is, if you have it in you, okay, and you have the willpower to sit down and simply focus on one singular thing, all right, and just hone in on that, master that same swing over and over and over and over again, you, my good friend, will turn into an absolute beast inside of this marketplace, assuming that you have everything else surrounding that already established. Okay, so I want you guys to pretend that this is the first time you've ever seen a chart before. All right, and what I want to get in here is really just get down, cut through all the BS, and show you guys one of the most simple strategies you're ever going to find in your life that have made me just around $30,000 on this year net profit. Okay, easily one of the best trading years personally for myself, and it's all thanks to the model that I'm going to get down here and just show to you guys right now. Okay, nothing hidden, nothing gatekeeped. It's all being thrown out to you right now. So if you find it in your heart to push this video, okay, I promise you're not going to be disappointed. All right, so diving into the chart right now, I want to go back. It always goes back to the same exact four things when I'm talking about this model that I trade all the time. There is more things that go into it real time, okay, but when it all comes down to it, it all falls back to these four specific things. As long as you have these four things that you absolutely can incorporate real time in the market, you want to be putting your live money on this type of setup and example. You want to start out with a higher time frame key level. You always want to be utilizing something from the daily charts. Like right here, you can just look at the chart right here. Some type of old swing high that's going to have buy stops, some type of Fairway gap, something like that along those lines. It could be whatever. It could be a wick, order block. You want to be able to utilize a higher time frame key level from either the daily, the weekly, or even the hourly chart. Okay, as long as it's from one of those three time frames, you can make a killing if you know how to utilize and incorporate the three other aspects of it, which is obvious opposing liquidity, time, either a kill zone or a macro, and some type of light bulb sensation with a displacement. Okay, so let's dive into all those four elements in one very specific example. Every single time I'm lecturing and showing live price, I always like to use the most recent price action, okay, just to keep it fresh and show you guys that this thing is still kicking and working. Now, what we're about to dive into right now is a very specific example inside of a very, very tough week. If you take a look at this price action this week, you can see it's a lot of banging around, a lot of wicks. See that? A lot of sideways movement, a lot of manipulation. Okay, so really I'm bringing you into an example of a week that's really tough to navigate through. Okay, so as long as you can really actually assertively trade this model when it's actually there and able to cut through all this noise here, okay, and just preserve your capital and not give into the temptation, then it's just safe to say that you're going to make a lot of money down the road, and you're going to get everything that you wanted. Popping on the lipstick here, okay, we're going to be diving into this price swing right here. Now you're probably going to ask, okay, why this specific price swing? Okay, is it cherry picked? Is it hindsight? Well, guess what? Let's dive into it and give you the real logic behind why this down movement here is so significant. First and foremost, if you look at this arrow here, you can see there's an inefficiency. Now, this inefficiency is below old obvious lows. Now, the key is you want the lows to be obvious. So in this case here, why are these two relative lows here obvious? Number one, they're relatively equal. And anytime you see a smooth bottom like that, the market is always likely to revert back down into that, right, to sweep sell side liquidity. The most important thing that you got to know here is you don't want to overly analyze and try to pick out, oh, is this a significant lower? Like, it has to be obvious. Just pop out on the chart. Like, think about where the open spaces are on the chart. So when we rev up here, right, there's two things that you want to really consider here. Number one, how far stretched we already are in a premium, okay? And also, where is the most likely liquidity right now once we create this swing high up here? And number two, just how much it sticks out to you. Like, this sticks out to me so much, and it's really high probability because every single time you rise up into new heights and form lows, especially when they're relatively equal right here, I know a great deal of people that are trading this market and longing it and actively taking profits, right? They're all going to have their sell stops jammed straight down below these lows, right? So whenever I'm under the understanding of that, and we have a fair value gap right below these lows that amplifies it. So when we have the context and narrative that I just laid out to you right now, and we have an inefficiency below it, that to me is like light bulbs are flickering, and it just looks like a very, very easy target to me. Now the question is, how do we actually sell and make profit on this, right, as it's dropping down into these lows here? Okay, and I'm going to dive into it right now. So like I told you guys earlier in this video, if you paid attention, it all goes back to the 4 elements. Number 1, that higher time frame key level. So as you see us rise up into here, you can see we have a shaded area right here extended through, and I'm going to take you back to the daily chart. Remember I said it has to be from the daily, weekly, or the 1 hour chart. In this case here, I'm simply just very, very simple. You don't have to use, every single concept, every single PD array. Okay, just one thing. In this case here, I'm using this premium weekly fair value gap. That's all I'm using. That's it. That's all I need. And now we're going to look for very specific signatures on the lower time frames here. Now, I have the eyeball anchored right here, and that's because this is the start of the actual model. Okay, element number 1, higher time frame key level, check mark. Element number 2, obvious opposing liquidity, yes indeed. Okay, notice that we even have more stacked up relative lows inside of the range as well. Makes it even more of a magnet. Number 3, time. Okay, now I will say, on a typical week, I'm never trading the London session. Okay, it's always the New York session, but the New York session was highly manipulated. Okay, so the fact that I'm giving you this example here, okay, just understand that the time element is still there, but I'm just sleeping during the London session, so I don't trade it. So this here is still a textbook example nonetheless. All right, so looking at it here, the third thing that I'm looking for is time, followed by some type of light bulb displacement. So the time factor that I'm utilizing here, always going to be one of two things. Not complicated at all, a kill zone or a macro. In this case here, I'm mapping out the London session kill zone, and that is 2 o'clock to 5 a.m. Okay, 2 to 5 a.m. is your London session kill zone. Now inside of that, what kind of amplifies it is the macro. So once again, as long as you're inside of a kill zone or a macro and you have the model performing, it is valid. Put your money on that. Be assertive on it. Don't be scared. Don't be fearful, because at the end of the day, if you're fearful, you're never going to make money. Okay, you're fearing losing something, but the fact of the matter is you need to get past that if you actually want to gain. Okay, so fear is nothing more than an illusion. Okay, and if you let it consume you, especially in a business like this, you're never going to win. Okay, so completely and entirely hone in the skill set of just keeping fear to the wayside and just being tunnel visioned and trusting the model. All right, so looking at it here, we're inside of the kill zone, and automatically what I'm seeing is bear structure forming. Now we're not going to get into that because it's not even needed for this model here at all. It's just very simple mechanics. Nothing's more powerful and easy than it. That's why I'm giving you guys this video right now. Looking at it, we obviously work up into that weekly fair value gap, higher time frame key level. Okay, and now what I'm doing, now that we worked up into that, okay, I'm not really caring what price does until we reach a significant time of day, and that's this kill zone right here. So as soon as we enter this kill zone, now I'm watching. Okay, and what do we have? We have a real sudden, huge run down right before the kill zone here and right inside of it. Okay, so now we have that light bulb displacement, okay, and we're inside of that kill zone. And what's happening? This right here is what you want to look for. While we're utilizing model number 4, you want to be finding either a 15 or hourly fair value gap, very, very specific. Okay, so everything that I already outlined was the important part. Now what I'm showing you guys is how to actually enter in this market with a good stop loss. Okay, because a lot of times you know where the market's going. It's just about actually knowing where to enter and having your stop, because a lot of times you'll get stopped out and it'll go to where you thought the market was going to go anyway. Okay, so that's why I made this model. You want to look for a 15 or hourly gap. In this case here, you can sift through your time frames, find it. Okay, there's no hourly gap. No problem. Let's go into the 15-minute chart. Very two specific time frames. Price runs up, taps up into that 15-minute fair value gap after the light bulb displacement in the direction of the draw. That's key. And now what do? The key is you don't try to short inside of the 15-minute gap as soon as you rise up into it. You look for something very specific on even the lower time frame. So we're doing a top-down approach here. The problem with shorting as soon as we go into the 15-minute gap is look at this lower one here. You probably would have shorted that and you're wrong. Okay, because you would have got stopped out and you would have been assuming 338. Okay, a great deal of risk there. So price runs up, taps the second fair value gap. Now we're looking and hunting on the 5 down to the 1-minute chart very specifically. Okay, in this case here, what you want to look for is some type of buy-side raid inside of that 15-minute gap. Now, I will say there's multiple time frames you can enter on right here. The 5-minute example, okay, you're going to see the buy-side raid inside of that 15-minute gap take place right here. Okay, what's a buy-side raid? All it is you're looking for some type of short-term swing high to be taken out. That's it. Very, very, like, just uncomplicated. We see that take place right here. Now what you want to look for is, honestly, you can just enter right there depending on how high your conviction is. But if you need further conviction, just wait for another PD array, like some type of order block, like right here, or some type of Fairway gap. That's where you enter. Okay, so in this example here, you look for a 5-minute entry, short that, target the lows that we established. On the 1-minute chart, okay, which is definitely king, nothing's better than the 1-minute chart than entries in my opinion. You're going to see that we ran up into that 15-minute gap and swept opposing highs right here. So anyone that was shorting here and automatically trying to trail their stop too early, right? That's where their stop's going to rest, above here, 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 and here. So when we run up into that, there's two significant things taking place. We're offsetting early short sellers. Okay, and we're also delivering an old 15-minute gap. So when I see that, we have a buy-side raid. That's all I need. Now I can just hunt an entry on the 1-minute chart. Okay, granted, it's a little bit of consolidation here. But what do we look for? Remember, it goes back to element number 4. Light bulb displacement. It can't be, this might be good. Like, everything just like, if you don't have that light bulb sensation, then you have no business trading live funds. It needs to be like, oh, wow, yes, that's it. I've seen this before. That's what you need. Okay, it's not like guessing, or like, it shouldn't take you any more than 5 minutes to understand if it's a high quality, opportunity or not. So, look at it here. Okay, you kind of cut through the consolidation. Remember, depending on your conviction, you can just short it as it takes the buy stops here, but you don't need to do that. Okay, you can wait for further confirmation with this narrative and context, not shorting breakouts. You don't need to do any of that. Price runs up. Okay, re-delivers that 15-minute inefficiency. Remember, we're just consolidating, and then we get this sudden move down right here. Look at that. Right after sweeping out this high, sudden move down just out of nowhere, right? Inside of what? The kill zone. And what else? Oh, this is when things get even more interesting. 250 to 310. Remember, I told you it's either a kill zone or a macro. Very, very, very specific. In this case here, we have a macro on price. That's what this box is annotating. And right out inside of that, we have that light bulb displacement, okay, inside of the kill zone. And what do you look for? Well, I mean, you can just short it right here. As soon as it has a little short-term retracement back up into the low there, you can short that. That's completely fine because you already had that light bulb sensation. Or, once again, if you need further confirmation, it can drive down, come back up, okay? And when we have multiple Fairway gaps like this, 1, 2, 3, I don't usually try to predict which Fairway gap's going to work. I simply just scale through my time frames, okay? And find different Fairway gaps. So in this case here, look at the 3-minute. See how much cleaner that looks? Okay, this is what you'd short, but where does your stop loss go? Very, very simple. You're going to short the Fairway gap here, okay? And you're going to put it above the highest gap. Put the target down to the lows, and it doesn't get any more simple than this. This here is model number 4. It's one of the most simple things you'll ever find out there. Okay, there's nothing complicated. You don't have to bring every single concept into the equation. You don't need Enigma. You don't need, you don't need CRT. You don't need all this fancy, flashy words from people that are just trying to sell you things. Okay, so I hope you found some usefulness out of this. I hope you found some knowledge, and I hope you really just smash it this year. Okay, I hope all the blessings that you've been asking for come your way. And that's it. I'm going to close this up, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.